What were your first thoughts of Vegas then, seeing it for the first time?
Whose bright idea was it to build this in the middle of a fucking desert? That was my first thought. Because I drove there at night, actually. You know,
I bet that's pretty spectacular. Did you go down the strip at night, or?
No, I didn't actually get in. I just drove to I drove there partly at night.
Right.
I drove from San Diego. I stopped in a place called Needles, which I made a bit of a gag out of in one of the videos. Because it's like a 7-hour drive from there to Vegas, man. So I stopped, but like a lot of the driving towards the end of that trip is like, you just see like neon lights of all the cars. It's pitch black, right?
Yeah.
And then in the morning I drove the rest of the way. But yeah, as you get, there's all just the mountains around it, right? And then you drive kind of through the kind of final layer of mountains, and you see it, and you're like, why? And every time I spoke to somebody there, just kind of casually about, you know, after I'd finished eating or whatever, they were all complaining about the lack of water. And I'm like, well, no shit, man. You have to just, can you even get it piped in here? You just drink bottled water constantly. Because like, it's right in the middle of a desert. And it's just, I suppose that's the American thing, isn't it? Do what you can't. You know, it's the American dream.
But the Hoover Dam's not far away, is it?
Yeah, that was.
Is that like on its ass now?
That was well depleted. Actually, because I stopped in this place called Boulder City, which is a really nice little town. And on one of the videos, I'm next to this table of this restaurant was heaving at about 11 o'clock. I had to wait for a table, and I got sat down at this table of kind of like middle-aged ish women next to me, which was good for the video, right? But they were really nice, and they chatted to me, and they were like, oh, have you been to see the Hoover Dam? I was like, no. And they said, oh, well, you should go see it, but it looks a bit crap because the water's really, you know, it's far lower than usual. But yeah, that was my first thought. But my second thought was it's a bit underwhelming. I think I've seen The Hangover and whatnot, and I think I expected it to be a bit more, a bit bigger than it was, and a bit more...
I can't believe that you think like bigger, because it's fucking massive, mate. Like,
it's not Vegas.
Yeah.
Compare that to New York, it's fucking tiny.
Yeah, all right, compare it to New York. But like just the walking, you've got to like just to try to get from like one hotel to another takes like an hour. It takes ages, you know, like if you're going up and over the road, or because it's like, what is it, 8 lanes? It's like
it's not really built for walking, is it? But but it's not big. It's not like a big, highly developed place, is it? There's barely, like, you see that, what, the Stratosphere or whatever it is, that one big building. Yeah. It's not like, you compare that to New York. New York is huge, you know.
I think we're comparing like apples and sausages.
Maybe I thought it would be bigger, but I thought it was cool. It's not. I think I thought it was going to be kind of a bit tawdry and a bit cheap and super tacky, but I didn't really find it like that. I thought it was, they have those elements of theatre to everything, right? Because it's Vegas, and it's supposed to be this. It's a city which was built to cater to human vices, right? Basically, that's why it was founded. Like, it was totally dominated by mobsters back when it was built, you know, and it's all about gambling and stuff like that. But I think there are lots of.
What is that?
I'll be damned.
That's a live.
Is it one of those things that's come back to life from that edible bugs bag?
Those listening, there were a bug that just flew past us. I don't know how we're in.
I know a couple of people have been there and said it was a bit kind of grimy off the strip, you know, which is really kind of glamorous.
Yeah.
But I didn't find it like that. I thought it was a pretty charming city.
I think it's amazing, and I think old Vegas, where you've done the Heart Attack Grill, is like way better than New Vegas. Like, that's where obviously where it started. You've got the Golden Nugget, you've got the Stratosphere Tower. People can do zip.
That was zip wire thing, yeah.
Zip wire thing down the. We did that. Well, we tried to do that, and we queued up for, I don't know, 90 minutes, and we got to the top, and we watched the guy go in front of us. We were about to jump on. They're like, oh, we're shutting it down. There's a thunderstorm. So like, we'd queued for 90 minutes, watched everybody. I'm like, just let us go. Like, fuck them guys behind us. Just let us go do it. Couldn't do it. But I think it's an amazing place.
Savage. Yeah, I'd go back. It's not one of those places. A lot of places in them. I could never go back to New York again. I'd be perfectly happy.
Yeah.
Though there's nothing about New York that I like, really. But I could go back to Vegas, and there's lots. Like, if I went back as a tourist, I think there's more stuff I would do. But I thought it was quite cool.
So you did the Heart Attack Grill.
I don't want to give too much away, but yeah, I did go there. Yeah, it wasn't my original plan to go. I wasn't going to do it, but I thought when I was there,
what is that challenge? That's like
it's not really a food challenge in so much as you don't get anything. You don't get it free if you finish. It's they have the octuple bypass burger, right? Which is, it's like that Guinness verified. It's got like 19,969 calories in it, something like that. And that's if you get. I got it with chili as well, so that I don't know. It would have been more than 20,000. I don't know how much of that. That's because they cook it in lard, right? Deep fry it in lard. I don't know how much I buy.
Deep fry what? The burger?
The burger patty. Well, everything. The burger patty is the bacon, fucking onions or whatever.
Shit.
I don't know that I buy that though. I think part of that's gonna not evaporate in cooking, but I don't know how much of that adheres to the meat in cooking. But anyway, apparently it's been corroborated.
How many burgers is it?
8. What gave it away? Octuple.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can get it with or without bacon. But
fucking hell, Mr. fucking food expert over here. Like we don't all live in your world of like.
So if I say to you like sextuple, what number am I referring to?
Sextuple.
Yeah. Why did I say sex? Because I know you're going to make a gag out of it. Quintuple, triple.
Yeah. All right.
Anyway, if I had to buy it, I'm just trying to wind him up. Yeah, but you don't get anything for it. You get. They used to wheel you out in a wheelchair. But they don't do that now because apparently somebody nicked the wheelchair one time. So they just, I don't know, they give you a high five and a picture, and everyone gives you a round of applause.
There's no spanking right now.
No, yeah, you get spanked if you don't finish.
Oh, right, okay. Because there's a weighing scales outside, isn't there? There's people buzzing when if you're over £300, is it £300? Then you get eat for free.
350. It was actually I got the start of that video is a wide shot of me walking up to the weighing scales.
Yeah.
And then. Quite fortunate, I suppose, for an entertainment value. When I was in the restaurant, somebody got weighed who was 351 pounds. Like the scale was like 349, 350. I'm like, oh, you're almost there. So you get free unlimited. I think free single burgers, as many as you want, as long as you buy a drink.
That's 25 stone for those that are like on this side of the pond. That is gross.
Did you go there when you went to Vegas?
Yeah. I didn't want to eat there. We'd obviously walk past it.
You didn't eat there?
No.
It's weirdly kind of like, feels a bit like halfway between a restaurant and a theme park ride when you go in.
Right.
Because obviously they're dressed as nurses and then they say you have to go in.
Yeah, you're dressed as nurses. You have to dress as a nurse. Sorry, carry on.
No, you have to put a gown on. So they're like, you have to go in this room and then the nurse kind of just ties this hospital gown around you. But it's got this really loud music because if you like, you know, when you're waiting for like a roller coaster or whatever, and it's somebody saying like, if you've been a naughty boy and you don't finish your food, you'll be spanked hard 3 times. And it's like playing, what was it, Carmina Burana, you know? Da, 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 da. Oh, yeah. And you're like, I'm walking in, I'm like, fuck yeah, this is a bit intense. But yeah, I thought, one of my friends has been there, right? And he's like, oh, the food's trash and it's in a shitty part of town. I'm like, it's not really a shitty part of town. And I thought the food was, when you're eating it, right, after you've eaten one patty, you're like, oh, you don't want to eat more because it kind of feels like you shouldn't be eating it.
Yeah.
Because it's that rich, but it's not unenjoyable. So I thought it was decent, and that'll be one of the better videos I think from them.
20,000 calories.
The funniest part is at the end, right? So when I left to go on that trip, I was 152 pounds, right? And then I got weighed. I'm kind of giving away the video a bit here though, like entertaining parts of the video.
6 weeks, no one's going 6 months. Sorry, no one's going to remember this. There's about 4 people listening to the podcast.
It'll be 3. It'll be really 3.
It'll be like June
when it comes out. Yeah. Anyway, so I suppose like the people they're the diehards, right? People that watch the podcast or listen. But yeah, I was at like 152 pounds I left. I got weighed on the scales at Heart Attack Grill just for the gimmick of doing it for the video, right? And I was at 159 if I recall, because I've been there 2 weeks. So I'm like, all right, I accept that. And then I thought for a laugh, I'll get weighed after I've eaten the burger. And by the time I'd done that, I was like, I think I was 168 or 169 pounds. And I'm like, shit, that's like, what is that, 16 pounds? But obviously part of that, I'm not that now because like the burger is transient, right?
Yeah.
You're going to poo the next day and all the salt come out of you after a few days. I didn't eat for, God knows, I think it was about 50 hours till I ate again.
Really?
When I got home. But yeah, it was cool. I think people will like that video.